for us, we paid 186 per academic year. So
You
yeah.
paid 186 euro per academic year.
Yes.
Please, what's the name of your university, Abeg? Hello, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is your one and only Waka Waka Doctor, bringing you the best of travel across the world. You know how we do it on this channel. We share vital information with respect to moving abroad. Like I always let you know, I am not an immigration consultant. Every information that I share is a consequence of my moving abroad. I've been to more than 60 countries and I've lived and worked in at least 5 of them. So you'd agree with me that I've got the experience to talk about these things. I also like to say that I'm not on Telegram. I am not on WhatsApp. So if you get messages from numbers saying that they're on Telegram or WhatsApp, please, it is not me. It is not me. The only way to reach out to me is in the description box of this video and several other videos. Okay, so please don't fall scam. I also like to share with you that I have a new book that's titled "You Must Move Abroad by Fire by Force." It details all the information you need with respect to moving abroad. So if you want a small book, a detailed guide with all the step-by-step requirements as to how you can move to different countries across the world, whether through education, whether you're looking for jobs, whether you don't have a degree but still want to move abroad, anything at all, so long as it has to do with travel, you would find it in that book. That book is titled Move Abroad by Force. So you can find how to get the book also in the description box of this video. Today, just like always, I've got something fresh, something new, something exciting. And you know that I always talk about affordable means to go abroad. Not everybody can afford to go to the big leagues. You know, you don't have 10 million naira or 10,000 pounds or 20,000 pounds. You can afford to go to these big countries, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and whatnot. There are some small countries you can go to that a lot of people don't talk about, and you can actually start there till you get to your final destination. So we're talking about this country that you can move for a ridiculously low amount. In fact, I've heard that you get paid for moving to this country. So if you want to be a part of this, then listen closely as we talk about it. And as I always do, I don't just share this information. I bring people who've actually lived and moved to those countries so that you hear from them, and it's not like, oh, Waka Waka Doctor who has, decided to just bring this information from the sky. These are people who have moved just like you, and you'll be hearing from the horse's mouth. So without further ado, let me just allow them give their introductions. Beautiful ladies I've got with me today. They'll be talking you through the whole process. So thank you very much for joining, guys. Who wants to go first and just introduce yourself to my audience?
Hi guys, hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Oluwatoyin Yetunde Sani. I like to be called Oluwayeti. A data scientist, currently with a company in the UK, but I did my master's in Italy during from the period of 2018 to 2021. And I studied my background was in AI and robotics. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Miriam?
Hi everyone, I'm Miriam Garba. I also studied in Italy, like Italy, we're a cosmate, MSc in AI and robotics. And now I'm a computer vision engineer. I'm still in Italy working for a private company here.
Fantastic. How do they say thank you in Italy? Grazie, yeah?
Yes, grazie.
Grazie.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much for the introduction. We're going to get into the crux of the matter now. I'm going to ask you, Yeti, I'm going to start with you, okay? And just say, how long did you stay in Italy and how did you move exactly?
So let me clarify. How did I move from Nigeria to Italy?
Yeah, how did you move from Nigeria to Italy?
Oh, okay. So I was in Italy for about 2 years and 6 months for my master's degree. So the master's degree was 2 years, 3 months, but you can, things happened. So it took an extra 3 months for me to finish up. And moving was straightforward. After I got my admission from the university, there are like processes in between, but it ends with, applying for the visa at the Italian embassy using the VFS, service. And yeah, so I applied and got the visa and I moved, literally, yeah, to
Fantastic.
Rome.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that quick summary. And I'm sure that's the same for you, Miriam. You moved from Nigeria to Italy. Can you tell us, and you did mention that you studied your master's there and now you're working. People would like to know the documents required for admission. What are the documents they need to have if they are seeking to move to Italy for admission?
Okay, I would say that may depend on the schools, but generally it should be maybe in the WAEC result or WAEC GC with English, with good result in English, at least maybe at least C grade in the English language, and also a transcript from their school, an official transcript from the schools that says the course they took their bachelor's or they took their program in English language, because they can use that as a certificate, as an English certificate, instead of TOEFL or IELTS.
Also,
So
if
yeah,
you have English, you passed English, you can use that as your English requirement. Fantastic. Okay, okay, okay.
yes.
So walk us through the step-by-step process involved, Miriam. What was the step? What's
Yes.
the step involved in moving to Italy? So let's assume I don't know anything and I want to go to Italy. What are the steps I need to take? You've already talked us through the documents. How do you then do it?
I mean, first, it depends on why are you going there. Do you want to go for studies or you want to go for visit, or you want to go for work? I mean, studies is the easiest anyway. Just go online depending on if there's a specific course you have in mind. Okay. If there's a specific course you have in mind, you have to go online to check what schools have those courses in Italy. Otherwise, you can just choose any course in any Italian public university. Yeah.
Is there a website? Is there a website that people go to check for these courses?
No, there's no. No, just Google. You
So
just Google, honestly.
You just
You
Google
have
the
many
name of
options
the
from
school in
Google.
Italy. That's it. And you'll be able to check the
No, not the name of not the name of the schools. Just say, for me, for example, I was looking for MSc in AI and robotics, and I just checked MSc in AI and robotics in Italy, and I saw the school. I saw different schools. I chose one. So like that.
Okay, fantastic. People have often spoken, Yeti, I'm going to come to you now. People have often spoken about how low tuition can be in Italy. I hear some of these prices. It's difficult to believe. But I've spoken to someone a year ago and it's the same. And I just want to know, the last time I heard, people have said 400 euros. Some people have even said as low as 180 euros. Please, what's the true state of moving to Italy with regards to tuition?
Yes, that's true. As long as it's a public university in Italy, then it can be as low as that. 180 for us, we paid 186 per academic year. So
You
yeah,
paid
it can.
186 euro per academic year.
Yes.
Please, what's the name of your university, I beg?
Sapienza
Yes,
University of
but as far as you do some things that you have to do though.
course,
What
yes.
what what kind of things? Can you tell us what kind of things you have to do?
Do you want me to go for that,
Yeah,
Miriam?
please tell us. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, so there's something that is called a right to live scholarship in Italy, and it differs by the region that you are. So it's just like when we in Nigeria, so I'm going to use like the Nigerian context, like, oh yeah, you're studying in Lagos or you're studying in Ogun State, and let's say for the federal government has kind of allocated funds to each region. I hope that makes sense. So for example, we were in Lazio region, so we schooled in Rome. but Rome belonged to the Lazio region. So based on that, there's a scholarship called Lazio EDISU, but it's not just specific to the Lazio region, like it's spread across all the regions in Italy. But for each region, there is like some, like there are different things that you need to do. But generally, because we had friends who study in other parts of Italy that was not Rome, for instance, or the Lazio region. You just have to have this document called that's the beginning anyway, called Declaration of Value, and that is something that you do in Nigeria. So you just go to, so for me, for example, and I think that's what Miriam did, we went to high courts. I went to high court, I remember I went to high court in Ikeja, and then declaration of value is basically they even have a format for it where you're just saying, oh, I am so this from this house, my parents are this and that. So you mention your parents' name, you mention this, how many siblings you have, you mention the occupation of your parents, you also indicate if maybe they are retirees or one of them is late, and you also mention if you have a own, if your parents have like a landed property of their own, or and things like that. So yeah, just so that's why they call it declaration of value. You're declaring the value that you have, but not just you, but your nuclear family. So it's not like extended family. And then so why you declare it, you do it in the high court, and from the high court you take it to the you bring it to Italy, basically. And when you bring it to Italy, you need to take it to the Nigerian embassy in Italy to, like, it's more like they are accrediting that, oh, this document that you've brought from Nigeria is actually what you've said. They are like putting a stamp on it, like we recognize this document as a valid document from Nigeria. And then although you have to translate it in Italian, so it has to be in Italian before you leave Nigeria. So you take both the English and the Italian translation to the embassy, they accredit it. It's around £50 or so that they do it. And then after that, you take it to somewhere called Prefettura. So Prefettura is like another court in Italy that says, oh, we recognize that this document has come from the Nigeria embassy and all that. Although these steps may look longer, but Nigerians can usually come up with fake documents. So they try and do these steps so that you go through everybody that can actually say this is original, this is a valid document. Yeah, so that's why it's like that. And at the prefectura is like the court, and they accredit it, they put their stamp, and then you take it to the body, like the office of the Lazio. So they call it Lazio EDISU, so Lazio region. So you take it to the body and present it to them. And the document is basically like, usually Indian students usually get it more because it's like they see them as they are poorer, but it's more like the poorer you are, the better. The better. Yes, the better for you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Miriam, do you have a list of other schools that people might be able to attend in Italy that's not expensive, that tuition is relatively low?
No, I don't have a list, but I think that most public schools, most public universities in Italy, they are like that. There's always one form of scholarship or the other, that at least you will get one.
At least you will get one. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
As a student, were you able to work? Were you able to, well, yeah, you just graduated a few years ago. Were you able to work and study while you were in Italy? And how many hours could you work for?
Yes, as a student, you can work for 20 hours per week.
20 hours per week. Is it also
Yes.
possible to move with family? Do you know?
Yes, it's possible.
It's possible. I'm
It's
sure.
possible.
I'm sure. So long
But
as
I don't know anyone. I don't
okay, you
know
don't know anyone.
that
You
has
don't know
done
anyone.
it, but
Yeti, do
it's
you know
possible.
anyone who's moved to Italy with family?
Yeah, I know one student, that a PhD student that moved to University of Milan with his family. So yes, I know you can move with your family. Although you may need to maybe come first and settle things, then bring them. But
And
yes,
I'm sure, I mean, you would have to prove that you can take care of them with your bank statements and stuff like that.
yeah, yes.
Yeti, what about scholarship opportunities? Miriam was talking about there's always one scholarship here and there. Can you tell us some scholarships that are available for people who want to move to Italy?
Yeah, so the very first one is called the invest in your talent. Am I right, Miriam? Is that the name? Something
Yeah,
invest, I
invest your
think
talent.
invest your talents, but they stopped it for Nigerians anyway. I don't know why, but I remember during our own time that scholarship was available, but now Nigeria is no longer on the list. So I'm just saying this knowing that not all your audience will be,
Yeah, yeah.
from Nigeria, but I know Ghana and some other countries in Africa on that list. So that one is by default. You don't like, as long as you have the admission, it's by the Italian government. You can apply for it. Then there is also the one, like the one I mentioned earlier, is the Lazio EDISU one, which is the region that your public university is. They have that scholarship. You just need to find out about it. Normally, even the admission officer would usually, when after you get your admission, they would usually even send admissions to you. That's one of the job. That's one of their job is by default. When there are scholarships, they will send it. They will broadcast it to all students. So that's the Lazio EDISU one. So that one is also available for anyone as long as it's a public university. Like that public university needs to be underlined because that's the major factor. As long as public university, that one is usually available. There's also the one that they did in my uni where you can work as a student, maybe in the library or in your department. It's not something much. So for instance, if you're working in the library, you're basically just signing in students, making sure they return the books on time and things like that. So there is that one. It's a scholarship, but
That one is
it's
called
not
collaboration scholarship.
collaboration. Yeah, so it's more like the name. You're collaborating with the school. You're offering a service to the school, and you're being paid for your service. And which other scholarship? There are honestly
No,
several.
there's one that is from it's called the Italian government scholarship or something. They will shortlist based on in Nigeria, for example, if you apply, they will shortlist the best students.
Yeah.
I don't know, top something, top N student, and then they will interview, they'll tell you to come to their embassy and then they
Yes.
will
So
interview.
which of these scholarships? I know that there are some scholarships that you get paid. I think I've spoken to one or two people that say they earn like 900 euros, 1,500 euros. They also get 1 meal a day or something like that. Are those scholarship programs?
Yes, that's the one Miriam spoke about just now.
Okay, Miriam, can you tell us a little bit about it? Do you have more details?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, is the last this is scholarship. The one with last scholarship have the free meal. So okay, the last scholarship is like 5,000 euros per session for both food no, for like pocket money and accommodation. So if you get accommodation, like they'll give you a school hostel. If they give you a school hostel, they only pay you 2,500 euros. But if you don't get a school hostel, they'll pay you 2,500 euros twice, which is 5,000 euros. And then you also have like a ticket for eating maybe lunch and dinner. It's subsidized. So you only pay like, how much is it? Maybe 2.5 euros or
Yeah, it
something
was
for lunch
2.5
and
years.
so
I know scholarships are difficult to get, but say on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult are these scholarships?
no, this one that I just spoke about is easy. Once you just submit the
Anyone
right
can get
document, it's up.
anyone. Anyone
Wow,
can
wow,
get
wow. Okay, okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. I think before we go, we need to talk about the visa process because people want to know, okay, I've gone to Google, I've typed, how to I want to study business marketing or whatever in University of Milan, and they've gotten the admission. What's the visa process like? Who wants to talk to us about the visa process?
All right. I'll try and Miriam, you can. I'll try and summarize this because it's quite long, but yes. So the first stage is getting the admission. When you get the admission, you need to take all of your documents and translate them to Italian. So the Italian embassy in Nigeria. If you go to the website, I don't want to mention that you can go here or you go there because this information will change. But on their website, they will usually list their certified translators. So it's not like you just take it to anybody that tells you that, oh, I can translate English to Italian. They have certified translators. So you take all your documents. So when I saw your document, if you are doing maybe bachelor's now, your WAEC, you have to take it there. But for us that we did master, we have to take our WAEC, our certificate of birth as birth certificates, your bachelor certificate, your transcripts. I think those 4 things, and your WAEC. Yeah, I've mentioned WAEC. So those are the documents that you need to take to the translator. So they translate it to you to Italian, because I mean the people that will review your application and everything, they are Italian, so they want to see it in Italian. So that's why you have to take that step, and because you also need to submit it to the school when you get get into Italy. So from there, from like after translating it, you also have to take the educational documents. So this is WAEC, your bachelor's, and your transcripts. You have to take them to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja. So for us, for instance, what we did was find somebody who beared our surname, and we just give the person some money. So because I don't know, I think now they said they've changed it, that anyone can go. That's what I learned from someone who recently applied. She said she didn't have to find someone with her surname. But during our time, we had to they will make the person that is coming to like translate to authenticate this document at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have to an education. They have to have an ID card that has the same surname as you, although there are fees that you need to pay at these stages, but I don't want to say this is the price, because this, I mean, inflation and everything will always change these prices. So when you get there, they just authenticate it. This is just for the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs to say, oh, we accredit that this document is original. This person actually did the WAEC, or this person went to school, blah, 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 like all of that. So after they do that, you can now go to take those translated documents to the Italian embassy. I also have to mention it here that when you go to these ministries to stamp this document, collect the receipts of your payments. They started doing this during our own time because they found out that people started using fake stamps. Like, Nigerians are just very interesting people. So because of that, they'll ask you for the receipts that they gave you at the ministries, just to say, yes, it's not just the stamp, but they want to see the receipt that was printed. I don't know, maybe people have not got to that level of printing receipt. I don't know anyway. But that was the method they were using to actually ensure that you have actually stamped and you are not bringing fake documents. So you take it to the embassy for what we call legalization and declaration of value, which you can do the same day. So the legalization at the embassy is saying, oh, this person has taken this document, they've translated it, they've taken it to the bodies that recognize that they are original in this country, and we've like legalized it. So when you do that legalization, they give you that what's it called, that document? Is it declaration of something?
A declaration of value.
Yeah, DOV, declaration of value. So they will just, that declaration of value is it's just one A4 paper that will say, oh, this person was born on so date, they went to this secondary school, they had this WAEC result is their own. So it's like highlighting all of those things you've brought and then summarizing it into one document. And after that, you can then apply for the visa. So you can apply during that time, you could apply for the visa either at the embassy itself or VFS. But it was just hard to get appointment dates on the Italian embassy website during those. Yeah, so we just took ours to VFS. So we just went to the VFS at VI, I think. That was not VI, Lagos. You get what? Is it
Yeah,
after
Lagos Island. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that was where we took it to. So without that process, you can't actually go and apply for your visa. And then I just remember that you also have to do vaccination for polio. You need a
Portfolio.
certificate.
How much was
Yes.
needed in bank statement? How much did you need to have in your bank statement?
I think it varies because for me, like I had some dollars, right, and I had some naira. So for naira, for instance, I had like maybe 5M in my account, and it's not like you just go and dump the money 5M. You have to.
Yeah,
So if you want to
build
apply,
your account.
build that account, yes. And then I had about $10,000 as well in my dorm account.
Okay.
Yes, so those
So
were
let's just say about $15,000 in total. Wow. Okay. Was that the same
yeah.
for you, Miriam?
No.
Like I use
$15,000. Did you have up to $15,000?
no, I use the family's account, like my uncle's business account. But also I attached a sponsorship letter that says he's my uncle, he wants to sponsor me, blah blah blah, all those things like that.
All right,
So
fantastic. Thank you very much,
that's
guys. On a final note, I'd just like to ask this. How can people reach you? Because they'll want to make some inquiries that I might not be able to answer. So they'll probably want to come to your YouTube channel or want to come to your Instagram page and see if they can contact you. How can they reach you?
for me. I can be reached via my email. I can give
What's
it to
your
you.
email address, please, if you don't mind?
jumokemiriam@gmail.com.
Okay, so your
And Miriam
email,
with
the email is
Mariam.
Jumoke Miriam. Okay, jumokemiriam@gmail.com. Fantastic. What about you, Yeti? How can you be reached?
Yeah, I think they can like my YouTube channel. Yeah, in the chat. They can also reach me on in yeah, the YouTube channel is just Oluwayeti. Or they can reach me on Instagram, Oluwayeti.ai. Yes.
Okay, so you can reach her on our YouTube channel, Oluwayeti. That's our YouTube channel. And of course, our Instagram page is oluwayeti.ai, isn't it?
Yes.
oluwayeti.ai. That's how you can meet these beautiful ladies and make your inquiry. Look, thank you very much, guys, to everyone who's watched and listened to us. That's how you can move to Italy for cheap. Okay, Italy is affordable. Until I see you again in another video, another episode, it's been your one and only Waka Waka Doctor, and this is me signing out.